That was a horrible video. That was the worst video I've ever filmed. What the hell, Karen? Hi, and thanks for joining me again. I just wanted to film a really quick update about the Kobo Libra that I purchased a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I was now able to read a few more books on this thing, and I have to say I'm still very impressed with it. The one thing that I noticed, obviously, I'm very aware of how big the screen is and how easily it can actually turn bad. An e-reader screen is different from your regular cell phone screen. The smartphone screen is illuminated from behind, okay? So the light's coming from back here. It shines through, it illuminates the screen from behind. An e-reader screen, an e-reader screen, or whatever they call it, the e-paper, the light comes either from the bottom or from the top or from the side, and it shines like this. You can injure the screen, and then whatever light was on the bottom will glare through that out. It's actually very distracting. And what happened to my son's reader is that he put it in his backpack and something pushed on it and it broke something, and now the light is bleeding out of this injury. So when you're reading a book and you get constant some light, it's just very distracting. It's not making for a good read. So at that point the reader would be useless. You would ever have to repair the screen or get a new one. Being aware of that and being aware of how big the screen is and how thin the device is, and wanting to take this thing with me where I'm going because I like reading anywhere, I figured this time around I have to buy a cover for it. The only cover that's currently available for the Libra, which is the cover that Kobo itself sells. The reader is $200. The cover that you can get for it, I don't believe it's real leather. It's kind of some kind of a fake leather. That thing is $50. So this little plastic thing with plastic leather is a fourth of the price of that reader, which both of them to me seems outrageous. But buying a $50 cover is still cheaper than having to replace your reader. The cover is plastic. It's a hard shell plastic that is not softly lined or anything like that. It's kind of a pattern in there. I don't know what that pattern is for. It has a whole opening for the power button, and it's covered on the outside with this leather-like material. It's probably plastic. The front is kind of stiff, but it has some hinges on it that I'll explain later. The inside is covered with another type of material, more like a microfiber material. Same material that you might find on the inside of some other screensavers cases that you use for your smartphones. And it simply clicks into place. So let's do that right now. So you see that their lips on this side that are tapering off on that side. Where the tapered off ends are, that's where the large side of the reader goes. So it goes in like this. Okay, let's show you. Clicks in place like that, and that's already there. So now the power button, the recessed power button, can be turned on and off. But you don't need it because it is a magnet on and off. So not only does it turn on your reader, but it goes back to the page where you were. Let's see if I can hold this without touching the front. Okay, it doesn't open easily. And when you fold it over, it doesn't come down either. Like, I'm not holding the cover now. So there must be some kind of a magnet in there. If you want to set the reader down so that you can read without holding it, you can fold those origami flaps like that. And now you can sit it up on the surface this way or that way, depending on how you want to read. Or that way. Or that way. Like it flips everywhere. You can read it in every which way that you want. Again, it doesn't flap around. It's not in your way, and it's kind of comfortable holding it. It just makes your reader heavier. It makes your reader quite a bit heavier. I say at least 50% heavier than it was before, and it's already not as light as maybe the Kobo Clara. The material seems nicely made, and it's nice to grip. But I prefer the device without a cover just because it's lighter, it's easier to hold. The nice feature is that you turn it off and on with the flap. You never need to use the power button if you don't want to. That's nice. The corners already show a little bit of wear. There's a little bit of a fuzz there. Like whatever the cover is, threads are falling off of it. So I'm not sure how long this thing, you see is here, the thread. I'm not sure how long this thing is going to last, but it's not a beauty contest. For me, this is just so that it protects the screen of the device. When I throw it in my bag, I don't have to worry about it anymore. I don't have to worry about something sliding and scratching the screen, or what's worse, injuring the screen, so I don't have to worry about light bleeds or anything like that. So if you're thinking about not just reading this at home, but taking it with you in your bag, I would say get the cover for it. I would hate having a $200 reader being broken quickly. It comes in, I believe, 3 different colors. They have the white. No, they don't have white. They have pink and light blue and black. Now, let's quickly talk about the rest of the reader. I'm still very impressed with the screen. The screen is still one of the most evenly lit screens I've seen yet so far. I have to say I've never seen a Kindle screen because I just don't believe in Kindles in Canada. But for all the Kobo screens that I've seen, or the ones in the store, or the ones on display, this one beats them all. This is the most beautiful screen I've seen so far. There were some concerns about the edge closest to the buttons, this one here, being darker than the rest of the screen. And at first I didn't see it, but it's there. So it's almost like when you open a book up and the light is on the page, and then as it goes to the binding, it gets darker. That's exactly the same kind of idea that this one has. It's annoying when you focus on it, but depending on what brightness you set it at, you may or may not see it. I don't think it's a problem. Personally, I would be much more irritated if there was glaring areas, some areas glaring, others darker, and an uneven pattern. But this is basically the entire side here has maybe a 10 or 15% darker edge than the rest of the screen. I've been very, very impressed otherwise with this device. I've read now 5 or 6 books on it already, and reading is just a joy on this. Downloading books from the library works like a charm. Again, if you're not in the States, if you're, let's say, in Canada or somewhere else in the world, the fact that Kobo lets you hook into your local library is just an amazing benefit that I would definitely take advantage of if I was you. What else? Yes, battery life. Not as stellar as I hoped it would be. It is fairly good, but I would like it a little bit better. I have to charge this a little bit more often than I wanted to. But again, it lasts without any problem an entire day of reading. If you were reading 18 hours straight, I don't know, but if you're reading 10 hours straight, in which I did, it will last you. And then you just plug it in at night. Yeah, so that was really a quick update about this Kobo reader and the cover that comes with it. I recommend it. It's way overpriced. Maybe if you wait a little bit, you can find some knockoffs from other suppliers. But I couldn't wait. I was going on a trip and I needed a cover, so I bought this one, and I'm glad I did because now I don't have to worry about it anymore. I just throw this thing in my purse and off I go. And then when I'm at home, I use it without the cover. It's easy to slip on and slip off. If you have a reader and you want to make sure that the screen doesn't get damaged, get a cover. Just because Better safe than sorry. Well, that's it for now. I hope this was helpful for some. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you again in my next video. Bye.